Hello, this is Sinister Game being here with a new stream. And this stream I'll be doing my Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare walkthrough part 5. But yes. Starting off, this part is just going to be a compilation part. No feature previously, this will be a part that features previous, mission things that have already been covered, but in a more specific live stream. So yes, I want to be kind of talking on the survivor, side missions and whatever. And then I'm also going to be doing the cemeteries once more. Now the survivor missions. This part should be kind of quick as long as my throat's not going to be a bitch and stuff and whatnot. But yeah. I already checked. By the way, on my YouTube studio on my phone, make sure the live stream is working and things that should be working as intended here. I did forget to kind of do a mic test here actually beforehand, because of issues I've had a couple times or so lately. Hello. Hello. Okay. Should definitely be good, and plus I was hearing audio from headphones, just making sure. And stream issues kind of just came out of nowhere in a couple of instances. But yeah. So I talked about them through this menu here, I guess. And to be clear, these will be the ones with a green question mark, aside from missing souls, which is the first of those missing people that was from the last part. But the one that was required during the story. Yeah, these three are actual proper missions. I'm not going to talk more about that. But yes. Birth of the conservation movement, basically. Birth of the conservation movement for the story is required in order to cross over to Mexico Nueva Paraiso. So for Mexico Nueva Paraiso, you do need to complete it. It is also the only survivor mission that consists in West Elizabeth. Most of the other ones are in New Austin, and then there's only one as well for Mexico Nueva Paraiso. But yes, I think there's kind of a little detail I kind of accidentally skipped out on in terms of trophies. There might have been certain trophies I might not mention too much about when I should have. But yes, I want to talk more about 6 years in the making. Find and kill a Sasquatch. That was the trophy you had to obtain by killing a Sasquatch, which you pretty much have to get during the story with that mission and everything. And yes, the video is paused because I'm going to go into the trophy list and shit. But yes. This is kind of actually a reference to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. In that game, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it released in 2004. Red Dead Redemption and like Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare were kind of like 2010. So something like that might be explaining the 6 years in the making. That was a pretty interesting detail I actually kind of forgot to mention and like forgot about or something. But that was a pretty interesting trophy unlock for sure when it came to birth of the conservation movement. And for reward, that one provided the scrap number 1 for Army of the Undead, completing the Survivor mission, the birth of the conservation movement. So that's kind of your main reward for that, aside for a trophy, basically, kind of. That's not directly tied to a stranger, but still. Paternal Pride, that was the one where Bonnie has you find her father in the barn. But unfortunately, Drew McFarlane did turn into a zombie and stuff. But yes. That one, a pretty interesting reward was the Winchester Repeater. You actually obtained a Winchester Repeater through that, and again, it is a stored requirement, just like Birth the Conservation Movement for getting over to Mexico Nueva Paraiso. And yeah, by the way, if I didn't make it too clear, this is just going to be recap stuff for the most part. If there is anything you end up doing, it might be like certain towns getting cleared if they turn to like the red, like overrun status. Because that did end up happening to... fucking Ridgewood Farm, Gabtooth Breach. Those ended up getting the overrun status, and the game explained, like, in that status you can actually lose survivors. So if anything like that happens, that might do slightly new content in a sense for this. But yeah, it's mostly going to be a recap episode. But yes, you got the Winchester Repeater pretty tight. But yes, that does seem to be the only noteworthy reward. Dinner for Two is next, and that was the Marshall Johnson, like Lee Johnson, whatever, like, mission. Marshall Johnson was disappointed, but not surprised to hear the news about his deputies. He thanked you for your hard work and offered to let you keep the shotgun he lent you. By the way, another reward is you unlock, like, McFarlane's Ranch as being saved as well, because you pretty much have to save McFarlane's Ranch in order to start this too, for Paternal Pride. But yes. The weapon reward that you got for Dinner for Two, there was a weapon reward for that as well, as I put down there. That was the sawed-off shotgun, which is basically just another version of the double barrel, so not really too significant. It may have more power over more range though, which is better, because range on like a shotgun is really not that great. And then yeah, even if it's not a direct reward, you do have to also save Armadillo, so you do get Armadillo saved as well. So yes, you do get Armadillo technically saved as well. Missing Souls. That was where he found a young girl, Wilson Waterbury, trapped in Pleasant's house by a swarm of undead. After dispatching them, he escorted her back to Fort Mercer, and then he reunited her with her family. But yes, that was the very starting one. That was the very start to the missing, like, people, missing person activity I ended up doing the last stream. And there was at least one reward much for that. Yes. Besides for unlocking the side activity, your other reward was this semi-automatic pistol, which was the first pistol pretty much obtained in the game. I believe it's actually still my only obtained pistol in the game as well. I almost got the, like, volcanic pistol or some shit for, like, El Matadero, but I accidentally hit, like, a friendly person with a Gatling gun and said I was why. But that was not a failed attempt anyways, so I did not end up getting to keep it. And then actually there's another reward for that too. Scrap number 3 gets fulfilled by completing the survivor mission missing souls. So you get that in addition to the semi-automatic pistol there. Filth and other entertainment. Okay, I'll get that in a little, by the way. But yes. And if I didn't say dinner for 2 missing souls also required in order to go into Mexico and Nueva Paraiso, so that's how it gets incorporated into the story for requirements. And then for the last 2 survivor missions, explain filth and other entertainment. Filth and other entertainment, yes. You are required to do that, like, after, like, Mother Superior Blues, basically. After Mother Superior Blues, you are basically required to do those to gather information on, like, Reyes or whatever the hell. So as a distraction, you kind of had to do filth and other entertainments to find out about, like, the curse and, like, Reyes and shit. You successfully delivered a record to McKenna so that he could make his new movie. Fortunately, an accident on the set led to McKenna's untimely demise. Now, as far as I remember, the only reward for that was scrap number 2 for Army of the Undead, and that's completing the survivor mission Filth and Light Entertainment. What? Did they fucking change the name between those 2 things? What the fuck? I swear that one said Filth and Life. This one that says Filth and Other. Filth and, like, Light, or, like, Filth and Other. I think they say 2 different things there. What the hell? Yes. And McKenna was a character that previously appeared. And just like the characters from Paternal Pride and, like, Dinner for 2, you had a returning character for this one as well. McKenna, the, like, film person, was the person you did a Stranger Task for as well in the main Red Dead Redemption. Trying to see what mission name he gave in that one for Red Dead Redemption. But yes, in Red Dead Redemption, you got the Stranger side mission, lights, camera, action from that person as well. And yeah, they're the same character that gives you this in Undead Nightmare. And last but not least, biography and lies. The reason it's required for the story is the same as filth and other entertainments. It's required to pass time, basically, for the like nuns to gather information or whatever the hell about like the curse and like Reyes and all that kind of stuff. Description is he found a land in rickets at Casa Madrugada, which was the reason why Casa Madrugada was a safe zone. After supplying him with undead bait and dynamite, he was able to fashion explosive undead bait for you. So you got a brand new weapon unlocked for your reward, which was the explosive undead bait, basically. For biography analyzer, biographies analyzer. The proper name for it is Boombe, which it kind of fails to mention over there. That and Filth and other entertainment are like what unlocks Mother Superior Boys Part 2. So these two are pretty crucial like requirements in order to get the information basically at the end of the game or whatever about Reyes and all like the curse and everything. And yeah, Land and Ricketts gave you quite a couple missions in the main Red Dead Redemption as well. So it's pretty important to the main story in Red Dead Redemption. But his missions are pretty cool. But yes, those missions were pretty cool, but unfortunately they were required during the story, so I did have to kind of do them beforehand. So in terms of the actual gameplay for it, refer to like other parts. I just kind of want to do a little recap there about those. Actually, I don't know why I even did that. Reload that. And still want to fast travel. I'm not going to go all the way on horseback to get to the different graves again, since they were story requirements. For those wondering why I'm kind of doing a filler episode, by the way, it's kind of because Undead Nightmare is a very short game. So I figured I might as well take the opportunity to go more in detail with the like cemeteries, like some tips and tricks and stuff, perhaps especially. Since those can be replayed on like the Survivor, like Stranger missions, which cannot be, and those are required during the story. But yes, first one was Blackwater. And yes, I'll probably be using Death this time as well, since it is kind of repeat content in a sense. Again, it's kind of a recap episode, where I can focus more on the tasks at hand and not having to combine with the story and whatnot in the first place, like the initial time around. This would probably be the shortest part I would imagine of the walkthrough, perhaps. And yeah, The biography and lies one by the way for Landon Ricketts. Going back to that for a moment. I forgot to mention it's the only one that appears in Nueva. This one is the only one that appears in Mexico, Nueva Paraiso. A good few of them were in New Austin, and then Birth of the Conservation Movement was the one in West Elizabeth. So they're mostly in New Austin. They're not scattered around all that, like, evenly, per se. I was wondering for any reason. To kind of build up a little more on the, like, recap of those missions. Again, unfortunately, they cannot be replayed in, like, the cemeteries. I'm looking a little more into cemeteries right now, by the way, so that's why I'm paused right now. But yeah. Okay, there wasn't really too much more to look for. Again, these are mostly recap episodes, there might not be too much to explain in regards to, like, new tips and tricks, but still. Oh, okay. You can actually read the tombstones, by the way, that actually have the characters that you would probably expect, so that's a very nice detail in there. So that is something I did not really get to truly appreciate the first time around, so I'll probably be paying more attention to that for sure. Mordecai Barb. Exuberant, whatever the hell indeed should he prove. Family man, sorely missed, 1861 to 1908. 1861 to 1908 indeed. So like 47, 48 basically. Or some shit on. So I'm gonna look up the character on Red Dead Wiki, see if there's anything much worth mentioning there. Okay. Maybe not too much more I care for. I looked at the trivia. There's maybe only like a couple things I care to mention for this character. One is kind of pretty obvious. One that's not like one I mentioned too much, I believe, before. First of all, Mordecai Rhubarb was the introduction of like the bruiser type of zombie, which is those ones that like are kind of hard hitting to where they can knock you down to the ground, and then they kind of probably barely like actually attack you. They mostly just knock you down to the ground, pretty much. That was kind of the most obvious of the couple or so I'm going to be sharing. Apparently, after downloading Undead Nightmare, his grave can actually be found in the regular storyline. So if you actually have Undead Nightmare, his grave apparently appears in the regular storyline, which pretty much guarantees the 8th gen version has this gravestone in the main game as well, even though it's not much of a significance there at all. That's actually kind of cool that the Undead Nightmare can actually add a little structures to the main game as well. They could kind of make sense in the main game as well, kind of. And then his bruiser model apparently can be found everywhere as an enemy in Undead Nightmare. He's even seen attacking Nigel Stickins apparently before he was killed by John and a cure for most of what ails you is what the last bullet point trivia section thing is basically. But yeah, he is apparently not a unique bruiser model. He's just like the generic bruiser model. So you kind of kill him multiple ass fucking times throughout the story since he's just a generic bruiser. I imagine all the other characters are more unique models, I assume. So I'll probably be going into later on. But how about I start cleansing the grave again for the rehash episode here. So apparently something I did not realize apparently is you can actually do all of the coffins. I think something I just looked down to Reddit wiki recently is you can actually run every single coffin and then you can actually get more of them spawning sooner. Now there is some disadvantage to this, like some of the coffins actually do give you some ammo, I believe, so if you are full on ammo and you want to actually use some ammo, it could be a little bit of a downside. But if you want to get these graves done as quick as possible, then you pretty much need to burn every single grave at the way start, pretty much. That's something I actually did not do at all, so that's why it was pretty slow going for me. Kinda wish I knew that before, but I mean, during the story it's more worth taking time with it. Instead of the episode, it's kind of worth more slow immersion for it, for sure. I might try to do death-only runs here, and get back in here, but yeah, I'm on fire. I was. Yeah, Mordecai was the boss zombie, by the way, and he's also the first boss zombie. He was also the first boss zombie in the game as well. That's more unique and not generic like these ones over here, obviously. Again, that was another obvious one. That was another part of the first. That was another part of the first one I forgot to mention pretty much. Yeah, that was pretty quick when doing all the graves and things, and then death as well now that I had. I wonder if you can do this shit to the bosses and they instantly die as well. I'm gonna kind of assume you could actually do that to the bosses and they die instantly too, probably. Yes, it does. And yes, I'm gonna leave these. I might as well loot the bodies again since it's gonna be a pretty short streaming anyways here. But yes, the stream is probably going to be kind of pretty short, so might as well loot the bodies here too. But yeah, these zombies are actually pretty early on, so I actually might not even get any of the undead parts. I don't know if, like, because they were early on in the story, they don't provide undead parts. I'm not sure since I don't feel I've had any yet. I feel I've not had any yet, and I do not believe they're all maxed out or anything right now. Yes, no room for tongues, the ears, and the eyes, yes. And of course, looting Mordecai for last year. And then for a weapon unlock, I believe this is the only weapon unlock, by the way, when it comes to the cemeteries. And the Blackwater one does provide you with the repeater carbine, which is the only repeater you pretty much are going to have. If you're doing the bare minimum amount of content, like, for, like, story completion, then you'll probably only have a repeater carbine with that. And then you won't get another one until Winchester repeater with Fraternal Pride. So it becomes pretty outclassed pretty early on for repeater carbine in both the main game and this one, it seems. A little unfortunate, not much use for that per se in a sense, but still. But yes, I think every other character for the Graves actually also appears in the main game. I think Mordecai is the only one that appears in Undead Nightmare only, and not in Undead Redemption for the main game itself. Aside for the Grave, as I kind of mentioned, the Grave actually apparently appears in the main game with Undead Nightmare installed. But yes. The next one I want to talk about here. Oh, no, wait, what was the mission required again? Right. The mission you do to Grave during the Blackwater was Curious Tales from Blackwater, USA. Pretty much the earliest mission, or one of the earliest missions in the game. Since it is in West Elizabeth, and the only West Elizabeth grave in the game as well, actually. Yes, indeed. Next one is Coots Capel, like I was thinking, so Armadillo. Fast travel here, then. Sorry, but no, you can get out yourself. I'm kind of trying to remember what the character was here. I know it's one tied to a stranger mission from, like, the main game. I think I remember it being more, like, I think it was more over here, if I recall. Damn, Gus McFarlane died in a bar fight. I don't know, there wouldn't be a grave in the main game for that character, pretty much, because they are important for, like, the stranger missions. So I'm not sure if any from here have readable graves or not. I'm really not sure about that. If going through different stranger missions for Red Dead Redemption on, like, the wiki, you should eventually be able to remember what the character was, I think. There's, like, a very old one. Alright, not from the wronged woman, it's a different one. This one is Alma Horlick, I believe. Which was the character that gave you, like, No Man Push Under, Asunder, whatever the hell, like, Stranger Mission from Red Dead Redemption. Hey, SPS. Alma Horlick was the character, I believe, that was in this grave. I could swear I remember. Again, she's not dead in the main game, pretty much, though, because it's not canon, honestly. Of course, she's old, so she probably does, later and stuff, but, yeah. I have to look and pay attention to, like, where it might appear in the cutscene when she appears. Oh shit, I got profile on for real. Yeah, promo again, of course I did. I get that card. Oh, fucking hell, I promised I had a quick bolt to it. Of course I did. Wow, it's just get a grave, okay. Yeah, it is on the border, so I've never done the thunder, right? I was like, I remember to look here into it to get what the character's the grave is called, but I didn't pay much attention to that. Well, now she gets to be trampled by death. And I almost got dragged off fire. Trampled by death, dude. Or hey. That's definitely the body I want to loot for last year, definitely. Alright, now that we horror look over here. I like horror look, whatever. Alright, here it was, okay. Owen Horlick, 1911, died alone, aged 65 years. Truth sets us free. But what? How the hell did she die in 1911 though, when in 1914? How did she die in 1911 though? Because in 1914, when you're playing as like Jack Morrison, I think it's 1914 or some shit. I swear it's 1914 when you play as Jack Morrison, but yeah, you can still do a stranger mission. I'm kidding though. Her death might just not be canon, obviously, in Red Dead Redemption, because Undead Nightmare is not canon, basically, as it would honestly be expected to be the case. Alright, we're following this ranch is under attack again, okay. Guess I'll take care of that then. So I'll definitely be taking care of that then, yeah. I was kind of debating on even saving the game since I'm just going to be like doing repeat stuff here. But I think I will save the game still now, quite frankly. Why not? But yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fast traveling over to McFarland's here. Come on. I was about to say, I want to do death bombing rather than dinner. So I was about to say, better get on your 2B.
Should be planting crops, not poisoning. Dead?
Okay, I guess I did manage both of those, okay. Might have got a quick wheel over, so I got the more effective piece there. I got Undead tongue, though it's been a while since I got anything for the rare, like, loots from the zombies there. Though it's been a while for sure. Could be wrong though, but I believe I was. I'm trying to see if I can get any of those like rare consumables that are in the chests. Like in this game, it seems you can rarely get the consumables in like the chests and shit, basically. At some point, maxed on survival smash, shooting tobacco, apple, snake oil. I have more time to absorb like all the information since I'm doing a much smaller stream this time around. Okay, the rest of the bodies just despawn at this point, or was that like all there was? I kind of forget, to be honest. Some of them might just despawned over time. I'm not too sure, honestly. Yes, I only did that. I should have done pretty much. Okay, I need Oddfellows Rest next. Armadillo again could probably be fun. If I want to just choose a different one, I could do Ridgewood Farm or some shit. Probably already. I don't know. I may just do Ridgewood Farm and got to Breach fast travel just to choose different ones. Sure, I guess I'll fast travel over to Ridgewood Farm then.
I hate this wasting time fighting monsters at hardest.
And yeah, was there anything I wanted to mention about the characters, besides for the fact that they provide the let no man put us under stranger mission from the main game? Oh, fucking god, the Red Dead Weekend instantly reloaded due to advertisement spam. Due to ad spam, basically. Swear ever since fandom had hella advertisements added to it, it's been such a fucking annoying experience. Still, I use it still though, obviously, because it's very useful with all the information on like Reddit wiki and stuff. Well, oh, wait, hold on. There is an interesting bit of trivia, apparently. An undead nightmare almost buried in the Coots Capel Cemetery rather than in Oddfellow's Rest with Peter. So she's actually buried over in Oddfellow's Rest, apparently in the main game. Which might have been what her stranger like mission was about, was burying her over in Oddfellow's Rest, maybe? Okay, yeah. The trivia also talks about, like, yeah, the 1911 and 1914 thing I mentioned, where, like, Undead Nightmare claims she died in 1911, but you can still do her stranger mission in 1914 with Jack Morrison. It kind of explains that maybe she could have been a ghost or something, essentially, with the trivia thing. I don't feel like reading a whole, like, 8, like, line, like, trivia section, no. Because that trivia thing has, like, 8 whole fucking lines to it. But yeah, you know what? Fuck it, why not? Undead Nightmare, her grave states that she died in 1911, but a stranger mission can also be done in 1914. One point is Chuck Morrison, as I've said. This could signify that Alma was actually already deceased when she is first encountered by John Marston in the main game. I added it in the main game, by the way. When she is first encountered by John Marston, and would also explain why she claims she can't leave the church, but mysteriously vanishes after Peter's grave is discovered. Apparently her model, for Undead Nightmare can actually like reappear in like missing persons side missions. Apparently for the missing people side mission from last part, apparently her like model seems like it can appear during that all. Yeah. Again, with downloading Undead Nightmare, apparently her grave can actually show up. Her grave apparently does not appear in the Game of the Year edition. Now, this edition for the 8th gen version, I think it's not based on Game of the Year edition, actually, from what I've heard, and it's actually based on, like, more of, like, the original version. Because I know Game of the Year edition had some, like, censorship of, like, some nudity. I think there was, like, a nude scene or two in this game or something. Or not this game in particular, probably not this one. But Red Dead Redemption itself had, like, a nude scene or two, I think, that were censored in Game of the Year. So I think it's more based on the original version. So you could actually probably see Almaholic's grave and Coots Capel then when it comes to the 8th gen version, then, since it's based more on the original version from what I know. And that's pretty much all the trivia one really share. That covers the Coots Capel grave now, the origin of the character and whatnot. When it comes to this game versus the original game and everything for the character there and all. I do Ridgewood Farm here so I can get close to Oddfellow's Rest here. Yeah, it seems that was actually closer to than Armadillo would have been, so that was actually a pretty good decision there. Definitely, for sure. Yeah, like with the last one, I'll probably do the thing first so I can actually, like, see, like, what it is and everything during the thing. And then discuss the character and whatnot, if they have significance in the main game or anything. And then significance in the main game and stuff. I want to burn all these first before my horse gets to me and stuff. That's great. Should move it while I'm doing. Wait, what was John Marston doing? Undead John Marston here doing. I might not exactly remember which one this was. I think it might have been another one of those like stranger mission kind of characters, I think. I could be wrong now, I could definitely be wrong now. can't remember the exact one on top of my head though in this case for sure. For sure though, yeah. I just killed another fucking Mordecai there. I just ended up killing another Mordecai there. Oops, calling it back. Knowing that each generic bruiser is apparently Mordecai, and I can say each time it's kill Mordecai. Fucking game. That's what we get for fucking being lazy with y'all's assets and using the same character model for regular bruisers and shit. Using the same character model for regular bruisers and shit. Created shit and screw all, whatever the fuck all. I never got thrown off again. Because of course I did. Alright, Peter Turner. Okay, yeah, that was definitely... Okay, was that also put us under as well? Because I kind of mentioned that earlier, I think. There, Peter Turner get trampled by a literal fucking death. Yes. Pretty sure I definitely saved the last body here for last. Yes. Okay, Peter Turner's is also from the same Stranger mission indeed, let no man put us under. It is probably their most significant appearance when it comes to the main game of Red Dead Redemption and altogether when it comes to Red Dead in general. But I guess since Peter here was already a part of the Oddfellows Rest Grave, I guess they figured they would do Alma Horlick, whatever as well, but for Coots Capel. So this could be the first like grave that's pretty much just same between the regular game and like Undead Nightmare in a certain sense. Kind of. Alright, here it is. Peter Turner. Beef Raft, whatever, to Miss Homer Horlet. Killed by a blow to the head on the 15th of January, 1894. He will never dance with another, whatever the fuck. And certain words I just say fancy because of a certain number of game series I'm gonna play or some shit on like a Nintendo system. By the way. So I just kind of do it for fun's sake, so I know it's dance pretty much, pretty certain, but still. Okay, apparently according to trivia in Undead Nightmare, his grave apparently seems to be in a different spot than in the regular storyline. Does that mean he somehow has two graves in, like, Redemption? Probably not, but still. Okay, apparently in Undead Nightmare, when you cleanse this one, he apparently cannot be hogtied. It did not say if Mordecai or, like, Alma, like, Horik, it didn't say if those two cannot be hogtied, but apparently you cannot hogtie Peter Turner, you cannot, apparently. In Undead Nightmare, he's apparently referred to as Pete Turner. Apparently his gravestone can actually be found in Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. All the other ones I think are only in Red Dead Redemption so far, but apparently this gravestone can actually be found in Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. But it is a lot more simplified in the second game. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more simplified there. So that's a very cool, like, trivia for continuity sakes, whatever the fuck, for continuity sakes, it's pretty cool that it actually appears in the prequel game, Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Online, prequel game, everything. Okay, that should be everything to mention here for this one, kind of all, yes.
Something so hard to brain be so stupid. Giddy up.
Alright, I said I'll do a different one this time as well, so I got to Breach. Which may or may not be close to Tumbleweeds, whatever. Yeah, I kind of forgot as well the character of, like, Tumbleweeds. But still, I'll get to it when the time comes. Where is the Tumbleweed Cemetery again? Anyways, okay, here it is. I feel the Tumbleweed one is kind of the least iconic, I would say, in my opinion, for the cemetery. So yeah, that's why I kind of got confused. Because it's a pretty abandoned place. You don't really think much of it. I mean, with how much other stuff is at Tumbleweed that it has a, like, cemetery, I feel, personally. I only get one of those somewhere I fucking get all the time, or like, there's just not much of a good look in my opinion. How much I truly got technically there. Oh shit. But yeah, it's gonna actually seem to be the start of Westeros here, which is cool. But like the thing Jimmy's saying, okay, that's definitely a stranger one as well, as expected with pretty much all the other ones. Minus Mordecai, which is the original Undead Nightmare. Oh gee, I didn't pay much attention to the map. I'm actually happy I managed to actually save him when intended, basically. Kind of thought I was gonna fuck up and kill the wrong one there, so I'm not paying much attention to the minimap or anything there. For like the boss icon again. I gotta look for the trainer missions again, kind of for Red Dead Redemption here. Kind of trying to remember how, like, whatever. Okay. Jimmy Saint was the funny man, apparently. BS. Jimmy Saint was actually the funny man that was in the main game for Red Dead Redemption, where you had to, like, rescue him from, like, a lot of different, like, gang hideouts in the game. Yes, that guy is the one that's in the grave here. So perhaps since the grave is in Tumbleweed, he kind of died to, like, the Tumbleweed gang hideout or something. Or at least in Undead Nightmare he has a grave here. I'm not sure about the main game, aside for, like, just having it added for Red Dead Redemption. Just because of Undead Nightmare being, like, installed, which is guaranteed on 8th gen. Obviously. On the unfortunate 8th generation versions of the game. Now we're not 9th gen versions, of course. God damn, there's a lot of bodies around now. I may not even remember which one exactly is chasing once I looked at them much. I mean, I kind of was usually looking at the bodies, but yeah. Okay, I don't remember which one. I think it was this one here. But not the biggest deal. I'm just trying to kind of save the bodies for last, pretty much. Like I have for all the other ones, pretty much. Looks like to the left here, okay. You got the right one or the wrong one, I forget, honestly. Well, either one of those two was Jimmy Saint body, certainly. Well, I did not expect the death. I did not expect a death photobomb there, that's for damn sure. That's for damn sure indeed, Jimmy Butler. But yes, Jimmy Saint killed by gunshot in 1911. Kind of ironic again, same reason with like, I don't know, it's kind of a little bit ironic again when you can also do it with Jack Marston, like with the one over in Kate's Capel from earlier. Like Horlick, whatever the fuck, I keep kind of feeling like I forget that name, but yeah. Jimmy Saint killed by gunshot in 1911. A humorist who rarely had the last to laugh. A humorist who rarely had the last to laugh because of all the gang idols they would get into and have to be rescued from. It's funny as fuck, holy shit. No, that's actually funny shit. They were funny, man. Funny man himself is not funny, but his grave is funny as fuck. Holy fuck, no. But yeah, I don't know. Since this character and Alec Horlick, whatever the fuck, have like 1911 for their graves, I feel it kind of just confirms like it's canon that like John Marston is the Strangers and not like Jack Marston, which you would probably expect. Because yeah, Jack Marston like suddenly just becomes a playable character, obviously, in the course of like 3 years, basically, whatever the fuck. It's like, doesn't really make much sense for Jack Morrison to know all these characters like John Morrison would. So, in my opinion, it kind of just confirms like John Morrison doing all the Stranger missions would be canon. But obviously, I have to demo as Jack Morrison because it's mostly Jack Morrison's game, kind of. You get the end with John Morrison in Red Dead Redemption 2, so I kind of figured it would be making out to use Jack Morrison as much as possible when it came to the first game. As much as I do prefer John Morrison. But yeah, sorry, gave reminders about the Funny Man, like, Stranger mission from the main game, Red Dead Redemption, the main game, obviously. Okay, so to read some trivia, in Undead Nightmare's grave states that he died in 1911, but his Stranger mission can also be done in 1914 when playing as Jack Morrison. It is possible he only died in 1911 in the continuity of Undead Nightmare. But I don't know. I don't know, it does seem kind of strange. I feel they kind of just did. I feel they just kind of pulled some random strangers in some sense. I don't know. They pulled strangers that do make a lot of sense, sure, but I don't feel it's the most realistic thing that so many of these like iconic like stranger characters would die in the game. So I don't know. Undead Nightmare, yeah, their graves in Undead Nightmare would not necessarily be canon to the main game, obviously, because of zombie apocalypse setting. You're going to have characters that are kind of going to be undead that were pretty well known in the main game as being very much anything but, obviously. To me, it kind of just confirms that it's probably canon that John Marston would be the one doing the stranger missions. That's another takeaway you could probably do from that, like, trivia I read there. From the Reddit wiki. Apparently sometimes when Jimmy comes out of his grave, his hat can still be found on him. However, this is maybe a glitch, what the hell? Fixed it for Reddit wiki, however, this may be a glitch, whatever the fuck, due to it occurring rarely. Goddamn, they need to edit that fucking trivia bullet point. What the hell? Because that wording just does not make any sense. In a small sense, at least. But yes, after downloading the Undead Nightmare DLC, like per usual, Jimmy Saint's grave can be found in the Tumbleweed Graveyard. It sounds like in the main game as well. So it could very much make sense for the main game, technically, I guess. Yes, absolutely. Okay, let me read this other one here. It's gonna be a long one though. It is unknown how or why Jimmy Singh was buried in the Tumbleweed graveyard when Tumbleweed is a ghost town and gang hideout, although given his propensity, whatever, for showing up. Although given his propensity for showing up in multiple hideouts across the frontier, it is not much of a stretch to suppose that he went and got himself captured once again. This time by the unaffiliated criminals at Tumbleweed. Evidently, no one came to his rescue this time, and he was killed. Though then the question becomes, why they would bother to bury him in a marked grave unless someone else came across his corpse, recognized him, and buried him in the nearest graveyard. This may push the boundaries of credibility. And funny enough, they put, but then again, so do zombies. Pretty interesting trivia thing. I feel the funny man, like Jimmy Singh dying at like Tumbleweed again, like I mentioned, does make a lot of sense. Given his character would go to all the different gang hideouts. So I feel that would be a very plausible explanation for sure. I feel it could make the grave actually kind of canon for the main game as well. Again, the graves do get added to the main game apparently when you have the Undead Nightmare DLC apparently. But yeah, this one could definitely be pretty much canon for the main game as well, assumingly. Obviously, his fate is unknown after that one stranger mission, like guaranteed, like in the main game. Not coming on the Nightmare, which is obviously not very canon, but canonically, it could make a lot of sense for the main game as well, if that were to be a canon grave. Okay, and then the last one's actually not a stranger character at all, and it's actually a character from the main story, and I believe it's like Vincent DeSanto, whatever the hell, which you did certain missions for in like the Mexico portion of the game for the main game of Red Dead Redemption. And as you probably recall, that was over in Sepulchro. So I am going to be doing Sepulchro's grave again as well. Wait, that's PSP, I should fucking throw. And I'm going to be doing the Sepulchro grave again as well. Alright, this one's at the very bottom of the safe house, I think. A little confusing, kind of, obviously, since it has like multiple different levels to the safe house, but yeah. Bed is at the way bottom, yes. I accidentally went around the whole way through, it looks like. That's her moments, yes. Definitely looked like that was the closest one for sure. So finishing off the little like recap, like review stream of this, like survivor, like side missions, and then the grave cleansing, like the cemetery cleansing, cemeteries. I will be finishing off here, obviously, with Sepulchro. As mentioned earlier, the character is Vincent Santa, basically, which was the character you actually did main missions for when it came to Red Dead Redemption. So they're easily the most significant character that has like a gravesite that you cleanse in Undead Nightmare, the definite most significant character of the view. For the one that is in Nueva Paraiso. Oh, and before I go into even more details on that one, all three of these for Coots Capel, Oddfellows Rest, and then the Tumbleweed ones. All three New Austin ones are required for Seth's mission in the game. But yeah, Seth's mission, like the one with like the whole whatever. Get back in that whole partner, I think is definitely the one that does that for you there. But yeah, the first 4 graves were pretty early on for the story for sure. Like, yeah, I get there's not much missions, obviously, in Undead Nightmare, but this one's pretty late game, I feel, compared to the other 4, for sure. Because you obviously need that Mexico access for Nueva Paraiso access here. Oh. I need a herd of bolter one. That's for damn sure. zigzagging right now. Fucking horse. Essentially, my horse is zigzagging there, yes. Oh my god, I got thrown off by it. Of course, this horse was zigzagging earlier. This one seems kind of sizable and feel compared to the other ones, probably because it's in Mexico and Nueva Paraiso, which is the last unlocked area of the game, obviously. And it's not one of those that I managed to get in, which is definitely a bit of an annoyance there. And I can hit that one, of course. Fuck that fucking water, for real. Right there, fine. Oh my god, of course, someone else doing all that, I guess that happened. Again? They're like a good bit away there, it felt a little bit okay. Oh, I already got this, it looks like someone, whatever. I'm fucking here. At least I was able to save them for last, all the way in the Americas, at least. All the way for the Americas, indeed, yes. Pretty fucking true. Really? I'm getting dragged off by the last one? And that is all 5 grace sites cleansed again for a dedicated stream, pretty much, this time around too. And yeah, this one's required for like a round of superior blues or whatever, I believe, just like some of those other like most of the requirements for like the survivor side missions, whatever I mentioned earlier. where the security is shitty fucking through. Santa's body right there. Blue one next to him, and the other blue one next to him too. Alright, 2 undead eyes. Here. And that was the advantage. Okay, I got it quickly on that one, it looked like. So cool. It's cool indeed, shitty bro. Undead ear. I got quickly on the Santa, goddamn it. Okay, this is where it was apparently, okay. Captain Vincent de Santa, whatever. Hombre Tierno, whatever the fuck. Soldado Braz, whatever the fuck. Something like that all, I guess. 1877 to 1911 makes sense because obviously you're doing that during the story and only John Marston can therefore do that. So it's probably the most logical grave decision of the view for sure in terms of how they went about it because of that. Go on the Vincent Santa page on the Reddit wiki, sure. Yes, actually following for everyone going on the Santa page here for sure. But yes, going on the Santa page for sure, yeah, actually, bro. And right, I don't know why I'm not paused right now. I don't want the gameplay to necessarily go longer in a sense, inflating like the gameplay time. So like, whoops. I was not on top of that for this last one like it was all the other ones. That's for sure, indeed, shitty fucking throat. And yes, it was Mother Superior Blues indeed for the mission requirement during the story that requires you to do the sepulchral gravesite. But yes, if the Undead Nightmare DLC is installed, DeSantis' grave is present in Sepulchre even before his death, apparently. Which could either be a programming error or a glitch, according to the Reddit wiki. Apparently for Undead Nightmare, the tombstone with the Hombre Tierno Soldado Feroz, whatever the hell. Apparently that translates into Tender Man, Fierce Soldier, apparently. And that was it pretty much for the trivia there. But I feel it's important to really cover for Undead Nightmare 6 for the dedicated cemeteries and Survivor's Side mission live stream here. Okay, unfortunately it did not beat 2 hours for the live stream unless I want to end it right here. I could, but might as well just let it be a little over 2 hours at this point. It's not a big deal. So I'll go back over to Last Hermanas again to save the game. Yes, shitty bro. And going back to Last Hermanas to save the game. I did get more undead parts to. But yes. But yes, indeed, shitty fucking bro. I did get more undead parts, so. I maybe did not get many new undead parts, but still. The new undead parts could be, of course, closer. The new undead parts, of course, get me closer to maxing out to 99 on the other ones. Which to me is definitely something pretty worthwhile to save for sure. Yes, sleep on, bro. To me, the extra undead parts alone makes it pretty worth saving for. Definitely. Getting closer to the max than the other ones. Because why the fuck not? Because why the fuck not, indeed, you shitty fucking bro. No new percentage. BS, they fucking pro. I've seen no new percent completion since again it was just a rehash, like a review stream. It was just a rehash review stream. Go for BS, shitty tongue twisting ass bro. It was just a rehash, like review stream, basically going over a couple things that were forced throughout the story, but were more like side content. Last but not least, I guess I could go over like the amount of like percent completion you get like per one if I have not done that before, but even then, it's a review, it's a rehash, like review stream, so I'm gonna be doing it anyways for sure.
¿Cómo estás? Hola. Hola.
Alright. But yes. Last but not least, I need to go over the amount of percent per like thing. That's pretty much automatic for story completion again. Yes, shitty fucking fruit. Last but not least, to go over percent. God fucking damn it, she fucking for almost done with the stream, so fucking quit, dude. With the burpee belchiness and shit, fucking hell. But yes. All 6 story required survivor missions that are more like side content. Yes, shitty fucking fruit. All 6 survivor missions for the survivor side missions that are more like side missions but are required for story progression at some point. Each one is supposed to be 2%, with missing souls being kind of an exception because it kind of ties to other side content as well, as I've said. That means Breath of Conservation Movement, Paternal Pride, Dinner for Two, Bill for Another Entertainment, and then Biography and Lies are all 2% game completion. So those few give you 10% of your game completion. Missing Souls is supposed to be 2% as well, but it kind of gives an extra third percentage as well, since it kind of counts towards Missing Souls. You don't end up with 101%. You do not end up with shitty tongue twisting ass bro. You do not end up with 101%. You still end up with 100%. It kind of gets discounted, like kind of gets disregarded at the end of the game or something, even at least. So you still do end up with the proper 100%, even though it does give an extra third percent, apparently, according to the Reddit wiki. So basically, you get anywhere from like 12 to 13% for survivor side missions. As for the cemeteries, As for the cemeteries, each one of those is also worth 2% completion. But yes. yes. Shitty fucking throat. Blackwater Cemeteries, 2%. Coates Capel Cemetery, 2%. Oddfellows Rest Cemetery, 2%. Tumbleweed Cemeteries, 2%. And yes. Shitty fucking throat. And then Soper Crowier is also a 2%er as well. So those are each 2% for 10% completion of the game. That's the percentages for all that. yes, she fucking throw those percentages for all that. But yes, that is pretty much going to wrap up this live stream here. As for the next stream, I'll be starting to do the Undead challenges for the next stream. Which are going to be your typical ones of like the sharpshooter, there's explosive rifle mastery is like a DLC one that does not count towards percentage that I'll do at some point on. Undead hunter challenges, kind of repeat from the main game as well. Obviously, Undead treasure hunter, I would never repeat one from main game. Tomahawk masteries, the fifth and final of the repeat ones from the main game. Basically, you'd have an Undead Nightmare variant. And then the Four Horses of the Apocalypse as a challenge as well. One of them, which is automatic because of story completion, that gets you death. And the one I will be starting off with will be the Undead Hunter Challenge. According to the Reddit wiki ordering, I will be starting off with the Undead Hunter Challenge, which is kind of good because it's the most complete one. Now, even though I am on rank 4, I will be talking about the first couple ranks when I do that. But yes, that's what I should end up doing here. Yes, shitty fucking throw me. Yes, shitty fucking throw. That is what I should be doing for the last stream. Or not last stream, but for the next stream, obviously. And then I want to do a manual save now before I end the stream here. But yeah, that is finally going to be it for the stream here for sure this time around. If I have suggested it would end before, but now for sure. Though it's not going to be much of a time save if I did it earlier, because I only recently was done, basically. Next stream again will be the start of the Undead Hunter challenges. Or like it will be where I cover the Undead Hunter challenges since it is the most developed just from naturally playing the game compared to the other challenges. That will finally be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.